Hey everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a review and some swatches and a demo using some brand new highlighters from Smashbox. And this is the Smashbox and Casey Holmes collaboration for the two Spotlight palettes. And I do have both shades. I have gold and I have pearl because I absolutely adore Casey. She's one of the channels I have been watching for, 5+ years, ever since I have been into YouTube. And she was definitely one of the first 3 people I fell in love with and have been watching. So I got both of these because I wanted to go ahead and support her, even though the gold shade is definitely a little bit too dark for me. I figured it's going to be more of a summer highlight, or I just honestly wanted to support her and her collaboration. So I have both palettes I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So let's go ahead and see what they look like. Here are the containers they come in. I actually think the packaging is okay. To be honest, I don't think it's that cute. I don't know, I get the concept. It's spotlights, like cameras, so I get it. She's a YouTuber, it's spotlight, so they have cameras. It kind of makes sense. I guess I was expecting something a little cuter, but honestly, packaging is one thing, but it's all about the formula and how they apply and how they wear it and all that. That's really important anyways. But here is what they look like up close, so you guys can see. And then I'm holding the shade gold, so let's go ahead and look at that one. Here's what it looks like. It is pretty. And then here is the other shade, which is pearl. So this is the one that fits my skin tone a little bit better. So let me go ahead and read you guys some information about where this is available, the cost, the size, and all that jazz. It is widely available pretty much anywhere you can think of right now at this point. I believe Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Smashbox's website. I will leave links down below to all the places you can purchase them in case you have a preference. So I did purchase mine on Smashbox's website when it released, but I'm going to read you off of Sephora's website. These each retail for $35 and you get a total of 8.61 grams. So although there's 3 shades, you get the same size as about a comparable highlighter from another brand. So I happen to have the Too Faced one in front of me. And these are the new Too Faced Love Light highlighters. This is 9 grams for $30. We've got Becca Rose Quartz. This one's 7 grams. These I think are $36. So you get a good amount of product comparable to other brands for the same size and the same cost. It says it's an easy to use highlighting palette to customize your ultimate glow, add dimension, and let features pop with layers of light. The Spotlight palette features 3 highlight finishes from subtle glow to super sparkle, so you can build and control your glow. These shades deliver ultra blendable, velvety smooth formula. They instantly add dimension, definition, and the included expert tips show you how to get the looks from YouTube star Casey Holmes. Just use pearl shade on fair to light skin tones and the gold palette for medium to darker skin tones. So I will say I like the fact that there is a palette for everyone. I will say that this pearl palette is not the lightest shades in the world. They are a little bit darker than what I typically think of as pearl shades. So it's definitely not the lightest shades in the world for fair to light skin tones, but it's not bad. It's workable. So on the palette, it does kind of give you a little bit of information as well. It says there's 3 complementary highlighting shades. The key with these is to understand these formulas, because if you don't, then you're totally going to think this shade right here, which is the 3rd one in each palette, is a dud. And it's not. It's just a different formula. So you get 2 shimmer finishes and 1 mega sparkle that dials light way up. Wear alone or layer over blush and contour to amp up the spotlight. So like it says, these are 2 typical highlighters, really pretty, and then this one is a super sparkle. So this one actually has a much sparklier formula. It's actually a little bit more gritty. So it just kind of has a chunkier formula. There's very noticeable glitter in there. When I look at them, the other ones have just a beautiful sheen. That 3rd shade is the one where you can see noticeable glitter. So that's where Casey explained on her Snapchat and YouTube that that's supposed to be the 3rd highlighter that you can just pop on top of anything to make it like bam, in your face sparkle. So keep that in mind, because this one on its own I don't think is like the absolute best highlighter, and that's because it is a different formula. So there is what those look like, and on the top we have right here that 3rd shade that has a little bit of a different formula and it's a little bit chunkier, but they do look really beautiful swatched. So let me go ahead and show you guys what the gold palette looks like as well. Same formula as far as the 2 being very smooth sheens, and then the 3rd one being kind of like that chunkier formula. Here is what the gold palette looks like. I actually think that the pearl palette's a little bit more pigmented, but this shade right here is awesome if you can wear that. So I want to show you guys how it looks on my skin. I don't have a highlighter on right now. I am going to apply one of each shade on each side of the cheek just so you guys can see how it applies, and what it looks like. So I'm going to apply Pearl first, and I don't know if these go in the order like this way or this way when I'm reading it, but I'm either putting on Turn It On Pearl or Blow a Fuse Pearl, and my guess is that I am using Turn It On Pearl because I would think Blow a Fuse is like the pop of color one. So I'm going to take my dense brush, which is a Target Up and Up brush, and I am going to swirl it around. You will get a lot of product because it is very, very powdery. So make sure you tap that off. And then I'm going to get a little bit closer and show you guys what it looks like on my brush right there. And then now we are going to go ahead and apply it. So bam, like these are really pigmented. If you swirl your brush in there really well, they do look really beautiful on the skin. So let me go ahead and put, let's just be extra. I'm gonna go ahead and put that topper on top. Now this topper shade, in the pearl one specifically, I find I get more of like a white yellow pearl over here to more of a pinky undertone and kind of a rose gold. So that's what I was saying. It's not the lightest highlighter palette in the world. It does get darker as you get across. So just to show you guys what it looks like, I am going to put that topper on top, and this is how pigmented it is. It's really pretty. So let me go ahead and share with you guys what the gold shade looks like. Keep in mind, this is definitely too dark for me right now, but I want to show you guys what it looks like and how it applies as well. The formula of these are really, really silky and smooth. I do think the formula in the Pearl palette is a little bit better. For some reason, they're a little bit more pigmented to me, especially in this first shade right here. But overall, they're both pigmented. They're very smooth. Casey has a lot of texture and rosacea on her face. So she really emphasized that she wanted to create a product with Smashbox that's not going to emphasize any kind of texture or pores or anything like that in that area. So I do agree that she accomplished that these go on really smoothly and they kind of just melt into this skin. So again, I'm going to take the lightest shade, which is this shade right here, which I believe is Turn It On Gold. So again, here's what the brush looks like with the product. And then we're going to go ahead and apply this. So there it is. Now I can see it right here, like gold right there. Hopefully you guys can see it, but I do think, I mean, you saw between the first application over here and this one, I do think the Pearl shade, at least in the first shade, is much more pigmented, because then I do find this second shade is more pigmented in the gold palette than the Pearl palette. So not necessarily that there's different inconsistencies, I just think that maybe the first shade in here is the most pigmented and it happens to be the second in this one. I do think the formula in here is better than most of the products I've tried from Smashbox. However, the wear time. Let's talk about that now because I do think that is the biggest con with this palette. I'm not kidding. It looks this intense when I would leave the door. And at the time that I got this palette, my client was 45 minutes away that I was driving to. I swear, by the time I got to the client, set up and all that, and it had only been over an hour, it was almost gone and it was disappearing. And it was under 2 hours. And then this was completely gone off my face. No trace. You could not see it. And I was like, man, I thought this was like super intense when I left the house. Am I crazy? Then like day 2 and day 3 rolled around and I kept trying it and I kept sharing it with you guys on Snapchat and they just weren't long lasting and they were disappearing and I couldn't understand why that was happening. So the wear time on it just wasn't great for me. A couple hours to me is not what I'm expecting for a $35 palette, especially because I have drugstore products that do much better and last 8 hours. So that was a total disappointment to me. And I tried a bunch of different things. I kept trying different brushes. I tried setting it with a setting spray. I would apply it, then do the setting spray. Didn't last any longer. The only concoction I came up with that worked really great is I used a setting spray. This happens to be my Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray, and I would go in with the powder product, pick it up on my brush, I would spray it, and then I would apply it. I would have a little bit more of an intense highlight at first, but it would wear better throughout the day. I could get it up to like a 5 or 6 hour wear time. So once I got it up to that, it's not as bad. Still not as long lasting as most of the highlighters that I have and that I love. So overall, for whatever reason, these just don't have a great wear time. That's my personal experience. Hopefully you guys maybe aren't having that same experience. I haven't really seen anyone say bad things about these palettes because I do think they are beautiful, but I mean, I kept trying this and showing you guys on Snapchat and I'm like, where is my highlighter going? I haven't had this happen in a really long time, especially from a $35 product. So at the end of the day, it's all going to depend on what your wants and needs are. You may say, you know what, I love Casey so much, I could care less if this was good, bad, long-lasting, or whatever. I want to support her. I totally understand because I adore her and that's why I got the gold palette. even though it doesn't fit my skin tone right now. You may say, you know what, I want a special occasion highlighter. I want to look this pretty. I only need it at night when I go out or something, so I don't need it to be long lasting. Or you may be saying, you know what, my money is really important to me, and for $35, I expect a lot out of my product, and it needs to last me, you know, 8 hours at work. I don't want anything less for $35. So overall, I think the formula is really pretty. I think it looks great on the skin. I think it applies with multiple brushes. I think if you want maximum impact, a denser brush like this is better. However, you can use softer, fluffier brushes like a Luxie highlighter or a Morphe 501. It's just going to depend what kind of look you're going for. But I do think the formula is nice. The biggest con is just the wear time, and you're going to have to decide, you know, if that fits in your wants or needs, or if you don't care, or if you do care. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review and the swatches and seeing a demo of how it applies on the skin. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!